Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. Well, first contact day was yesterday. I kind of managed to avoid it somehow. I think, like unconsciously, I kind of avoided it because I knew there'd be promotion for the new Star Trek series, and that would trigger me on some level over certain things because they just always do. Because So, first thing I'm going to start with and comment on is the Discovery Season 4 teaser. I don't know what interview or what podcast or whatever this was in, but you see Sonequa Martin Green introducing it, and then it's about a minute and a half. Well, I know I'm a masochist on some level. Like, I don't need to go into my personal stuff, but obviously I want to suffer because I keep watching Discovery in the hope that it will start to resemble Star Trek at some point, and I just keep getting hit in the face with it, and I don't know why I keep walking into this punch. Like, obviously I've got issues because I keep walking into this thinking like maybe they will have worked it out by now. Maybe they'll actually care about the survival of the franchise and making money and so forth, that they'll actually try and make Star Trek. No, it's the same old. We start off seeing Sonequa Martin Green walking out in a Tron outfit because they've ripped off Tron now. And you see destroyed sets and damage to the ship, and her, of course, walking in to save the situation. She's the savior. She's the superhero. And they explain that there's some gravitational anomaly. So it's the same thing as the last 4 seasons, basically. Just create a problem, create a telenovela sort of situation where each episode you're just playing on that threat or that story, that whatever. And hope that people will follow it just like they follow like a soap opera or something like that, just see what happens next, and then hope you can pay it off in the last episode and then sort of speed through the last episode or two to tie up all loose ends and then call that a story. That's what they've been doing. So this season looks exactly the same. They're not exploring space. They're not having individual experiences and stories. It's just one story, one big threat. It's just about surviving another threat. Star Trek is not about surviving a threat. Star Trek is about exploring the galaxy, exploring humanity, learning. This is just about creating a problem, creating a dark, nasty mess, and then watching people struggle through it in misery, and then surviving and saying, "We survived. We'll be Starfleet one day. We'll be Star Trek one day. We're gonna achieve so much. Now we survived this," and then they just go into another crisis and survival situation. They never actually achieve anything. Each season it's the same thing: crisis, disaster, miserable, dark, dystopian rubbish. And then at the end it's like, "Oh, we've survived. We're Starfleet now. We're Star Trek now," and then they just set that Mulder and Scully clock back where just resets, and everyone just forgot what they learned apparently at the end of the last season. It's like watching an episode of X-Files. In case you can get the Mulder Scully reference. I doubt there's anyone watching this who wouldn't know who Mulder and Scully are, but you never know. My Discovery haters don't seem to be very knowledgeable of science fiction, so maybe not. So yeah, I watched it and I'm like, why? Why can't we just have a season where they just go out and explore the 23rd century? There's so much. It's the 23rd, the 32nd century. Just explore the 32nd century. There's so much there we haven't dealt with that hasn't been explored in Star Trek. There's literally a whole galaxy. But did they do that? No, they just set up some big nasty, some big disaster they have to survive. And of course, as we see from what I'm sure is like the end of the season, we have Sonequa Martin Green in a Tron outfit going onto the bridge alone and saving the day because it's basically a superhero story of surviving disaster. That's what Discovery is. It's not an ensemble group, a family group exploring the universe and humanity and learning and growing and using each other's differences and diversity to actually inform and educate and solve problems and resolve problems and find solutions and learn and grow. All these wonderful things Star Trek was. It's just a telenovela soap opera drama which drags out episode after episode, focusing on the one incident that they have to stop. And then you have Sonequa Martin Green's character coming out at the end and saving it like a superhero, like Iron Man in an Iron Man suit or Tron. And that's what we have to deal with. And I'm just so tired of it. I don't know why I thought, well, they're in the 32nd century now. She's captain of the ship. Maybe they're just going to go exploring. Maybe we'll just have a whole bunch of different stories, maybe an overall arc for the season, but we'll have a bunch of different stories of them having all these wonderful adventures in this beautiful 31st century, you know, where the future is better and brighter. But no, that's Star Trek. Why are you expecting Star Trek from this? Why? What's wrong with me? I just like that punch in the face, obviously. I'm not actually into punching, by the way. Not even gut punching. I mean, I've got good abs, but I'm mumbling now. God. As you can see, I'm just trying to get away from thinking about this by thinking about anything else. Even in this, where I'm trying to talk about it. I'd rather be thinking of S&M sex than, like, this. Okay, I don't know what else to say. I just can't deal with this show anymore. It's not Star Trek. Like I said, it's science fantasy told in one big soap opera style where you never get any resolution. There's no actual stories. There's no start, beginning, end. It's just, oh, and this happened. And then you watch the next episode and, oh, and this happened. And then it leads to the next episode. Oh, and this happened. And then you get to the last episode. They tie it all up as best they can. And that's supposed to be a story. That's supposed to be an arc for a season. That's supposed to be this new marvelous storytelling. I don't know. I think I said everything. I just... yeah, I mean, there are some interesting visuals in that they do show that the Vulcans and the Federation are working together. Basically, they do this problem, this gravitational 5 kilometer whatever this giant gravitational event, which apparently can appear and destroy things with no warning or anything, does bring together the Federation, the Vulcans, and so forth. So there may be some possible Star Trek-like element of unity in the face of diversity, but or challenges. But that's still not really what Star Trek is. Star Trek is we've already fixed all these problems, and now we're just out exploring and learning. And that is part of how they deal with each individual story and each individual race, and all that. But it's not. It's just not Star Trek, and I just wish they would get it. I'm like, why can't they just understand what Star Trek is and just give us some Star Trek? We don't care if you've got a ship mostly full of minorities and it's all like black, gay, trans people. No one cares. I don't care. I'm a gay man. I've always wanted more diversity. I'm happy to have gay, trans, coloured people everywhere. I'm fine. I don't care. Just make the stories resemble Star Trek, like the old ones where they had black people as well, and coloured people, and Russian people, and Scottish people, like a different race, and Vulcans, and you know, different aliens. I mean, they had diversity. This is not a new thing, and we don't care. I'm thinking about that because I know anytime you criticise a show, people say you're racist, that you have a problem with the show because Sonequa Martin Green is black. I don't care that she's black. Uhura was my favourite character, for God's sakes. I don't like her character. It has nothing to do with her. She seems absolutely delightful. Every video I've ever seen I felt so sad because, she seems so nice. She probably didn't know what she was walking into. And if people are rude to her because of her character and because of Discovery, it's really unfair to her because she probably has very little awareness of exactly what she's doing in this show. I'm not saying she doesn't understand a character, but I'm just saying I don't think she understands how it's really being received by the characters. She's not really a science fiction Star Trek fan, so she doesn't quite get it, and she's just wrapped up in acting and doing her job. But yeah, I'm just waffling on at this point. I'm just disappointed, and I don't know why I'm disappointed, because why would I expect anything? I think just because they keep doing the same thing. At the end of each season, they sort of, like the JJ films, they sort of promise us, we're going to get Star Trek next. Okay, we've gone through all this, and now we're at this Star Trek place where we've unified and we understand each other and we've like evolved and grown, and now we're going to go into the future, it's going to be better. And then the next story starts off exactly the same, and they just go back to the same just restarts and resets. As far as this teaser goes, it's interesting visually. They show some sets, they show some environments, they show at least one ship shot, a lot of destruction. We see the characters standing together. Apparently the Vulcans and the Federation, everything are unified. I mean, it's this disaster, this thing they're all dealing with did bring everyone together. It doesn't look bad for a generic science fiction show, but it's supposed to be Star Trek, and obviously we've already gone through 3 seasons, so we know what we're going to get. We know you can read into it more than, you know, just watching a preview trailer for a movie or something, or a series you haven't seen before. But I'm just disappointed, basically, what it comes down to. And I already said this before. I think I'm going to replace the ending of my first video with this ending, because I sort of went on about other subjects that should be in another video. But I just want Star Trek, and this show after 4 seasons still doesn't resemble Star Trek. Keeps promising Star Trek and doesn't deliver Star Trek. And as someone who's been craving Star Trek since 2005, and having to watch all this money be spent on these non-Star Trek science fantasy dystopian shows, melodramas, it's just really hard, because you see the opportunities missed. Imagine if they spent all that money, those hundreds of millions of dollars, on producing actual Star Trek episodes and using the Star Trek aesthetics and designs and aliens and characters and all the things that they keep promising us by claiming that this is the original canon universe and that we're going to be seeing that universe, and we never do. It's just really depressing and frustrating, and yeah. I don't think I can give it any credit. I can't be like, oh, we'll see what the next trailer's like, we'll see what the actual season's like. I'll wait till I watch the show. We already know after 3 seasons what we're getting, and I don't know why, like I said, I keep getting optimistic that we're going to get something different. I don't know why, I don't understand why I keep doing that. I guess because I just really want Star Trek back. I really miss it. But yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. This video feels like a bit of a mess, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put it together somehow, because I want to keep my original reaction to the trailer as I said it, because you can't fake your first reaction. You script stuff and it just starts to sound fake or whatever. But I'll work it out. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think. Seriously. And yeah.